Hey YouTube family! So it's the hot thing in the music community right now on YouTube. I guess I'll step in the ring on the Rob Chapman thing. Remember, this channel is all positive, so I won't condemn or defend Rob Chapman. I have a different thought process and approach to all of this. So here goes. The UK is disproportionately represented globally when it comes to guitar companies. It's had its share of disasters over the years as well. Cool-looking and terrible-playing Vox guitars of the mid-'60s are an example, and those things look great. The teardrops, like Brian Jones played. Vox guitars in the mid-'60s are a perfect example of this. If they had been made like the amplifiers, they'd been played by all the U.S. kids swept up in the British invasion, but they just weren't good guitars. And then the burning diaper pail that was the Baldwin manufacturing and distribution deal with Burns. All those are stories for another time. Here's my take on it all. Now, my audio went bad in the process of recording this video in a studio down the hall because of RF from a broadcast transmitter, so I'll show you what I had in my hand. It's a vintage brand instrument designed by Trev Wilkinson using all Wilkinson hardware, and it's distributed by John Hornby Skews in the UK. And they are wonderful mid-level instruments, just a great guitar. We'll probably get into a review on that at some point. Next up, a Burns Marquee Club and the iconic Burns Greenburst, another great guitar, both British, but neither of them made in the UK. So for another upstart UK guitar company, Chapman Guitars, to make a go at it is something I commend. The same principle as the guitars you just saw. The thing I do see as a downside is the distribution means. There are many US guitar companies manufacturing elsewhere. Even the famous Japanese companies like Takai and Greco are having guitars made outside of Japan. The difference is, if I have a problem with a Wilkinson Vintage or Fret King, Skews can handle it. Problem with a Burns London can handle it. Problem with an Ibanez, Alvarez, a Schecter, a Blue Ridge, Recording King Epiphone, list goes on and on. There's someone to handle that issue for both the guitar store and I, the end consumer. Chapman Guitars' factory direct approach kind of leaves the retailer and the end user hanging in limbo. It seems that's the biggest legitimate argument I can find in the whole debacle. If Chapman Guitars could have, even if it was just a garage, a place to stock basic parts and a couple of techs to do quality control and a basic setup, then distribute from there, the factory direct issue would be moot. Perfect example, and I'll show you, is this Hallmark guitar. Here's a Hallmark Deke Dickerson 2. It's fantastic. Hollow, chambered body, just a beautiful guitar. Bob Shade has it down to a science with Hallmark. Hallmarks are made elsewhere, but Bob personally inspects them, sets them up, can customize every single Hallmark sold, so you always know you're going to receive a good guitar in the end. It's not a commercial for Hallmark. I'm just saying the way that's done by a smaller company. Any issues are fixed before it ships to the end user. Can't say enough good things about them. As for the personal life of someone involved in a company, the things they say, claim, or do, that's a tough one. Chris Martin isn't extremely public, so nobody can really point fingers at him. John Hall of Rickenbacker has been very publicly vocal over the years and has faithful fans and rabid detractors because of it. Fender and Gibson have been through some dark years with some shady corporations and slimy people on their boards. If I get started on Gibson, this video will be like 2 hours long. I like and play Rickenbacker guitars, even though I think the man in charge there might be wound a little too tight. Still love the guitars. I play Gibsons, and that company's been a bad radio soap opera since the late 60s. So I guess I'm not all that interested in who's behind the guitar I play, but for some reason here on YouTube it matters with Chapman Guitars. As for the bullying back and forth, this is YouTube. It should be for education, information, and entertainment, not hate and trolling. Some people, they live to hate. And when you make yourself public online, just like I'm doing here, you make yourself somewhat vulnerable, and you just have to bite your lip and take it no matter what side of an issue you take. You bought the ticket, you ride the bus. I hope this diatribe made a point, remained neutral, and you thought it was worth watching and not just garbage clickbait like so many videos on hot topics are. Please subscribe and like if I made any sense, and share your views in the comments right down below. Remember to love and not harbor anger and hate, family. And what holds us all together in this family of music is 6 greasy strings. I so appreciate you watching, and I'll see you very soon.